oh, you didn't get to hear it.
The only downside to like coming in by my clock 47 minutes late is we're gonna have all these callbacks and circle backs to shit that nobody knows what we're talking about.
Well, I don't think that was interesting enough.
It was pretty great.
Include. But it was good for like a conversation, just not for like a let's put it out in public thing.
Yeah.
We were just talking about diets. And
Let's let the fans be the judge, though. That's how I feel.
Judge.
Maybe they want to hear about our diets.
Or me getting dumped for the like 9th time this year.
Yeah. And how I don't eat it. I only consume water for the
water
first
and one
16
gigantic
hours.
meal every day.
First 16 hours of my day, I just drink water and then eat one meal at 6 o'clock.
Yeah. Eat enough grass to feed 3 cows at 6 o'clock.
Yeah. I gotta fill all my stomachs.
Anyway, we are pretty much experts. I'm Robert John, back in the green island of Ireland after my 10-day sabbatical, back to the homeland. Here's my brother, Mikey, in the van.
Yep, You're here. Hello.
Back in the van, not doing the car cast.
Yeah. Yeah, I found a pretty sweet new spot a couple weeks ago that's got some fucking banging internet. So, doing this for now. Till I move again.
Till you move again. Mm-hmm. And then there's the other brother, Skyler, in his beautiful new home.
Beautiful. It's getting sexier.
Beautiful high def bedroom.
Do the listeners have any updates? It's allegedly sexier.
It's definitely sexier.
Is it haunted?
I don't think so. Our toilet makes a weird noise sometimes.
Oh, that's
haunted.
a ghost
Which
toilet.
I hope it's
ghost
not like a dogma shit demon or something, right?
Someone died on that toilet.
There was this guy a couple of weeks ago, first day.
after a Bucky a Tucky.
Yeah,
Bucky a Tucky.
Bucky a like second day in,
Call
was like
back.
just finished my Bucky a Tucky, and I sent the roommate out like you should go get some pizza for later tonight. Like we're just gonna paint all night. She's like, that's a great idea. And then like I watched her pull out the driveway and just went like right to the toilet and died.
Door open, of course. It's your new home.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Put on the clothes that I want to be seen as a ghost in, and just fucking died.
I was telling you guys I had a Bucky at Tucky the other day, and I was very disappointed. Like when I lived in Romania,
I just don't believe this story. Like I got to hear it.
Like when I lived in
puts out
Romania,
the finest.
I fucking lived on Kentucky Fried Chicken. It was so cheap. I'd get like the family box, and it was like 6 wings, 6 breasts, 6 whatever the fucking long ones are that don't have any bone in them.
Now,
like,
hold on. I'm going to interrupt you. Is a Romanian Bucky a Tucky family combo the same as a North American Bucky a Tucky family
you got
combo?
the slaw,
Evidently,
the
it is
macaroni
not.
salad.
It is not.
I mean, like, is there more? Like, I assume,
There's
like,
different-
Romanians have, like, 12 kids.
Romanians have a lot of kids, and they have a lot of goats to feed, I think. I think that's a factor.
They're
Do they
no-
give you more
It's a
grain?
different
Are they
culture.
giving you more grain with your Bucky
You're,
a Tucky?
you're given like a little
Your
get a
Bucky a
red
Tucky
grain.
comes in a big fucking pop can, like a big tin can for your goat to eat
You
after.
get, a nice little trough for the goat. But there is definitely different Buckies of Tucky depending on where you are. Because my favorite in Romania, like after being like vegan for a good chunk of my life, it's like, okay, I'm going to start eating meat now. And then I'm living in Romania and nowhere speaks goddamn English. And obviously I'm not going to learn Romanian.
God, no.
God, no. Fuck that. It's a dead language. So I'm going to go to the easiest places to order food. I would go to the occasional restaurant because it was so cheap there that you feel like a king, and I just use Google Translate to translate the menu and be like, I want that, and I want this. And it would be
$4.
$6. Yeah, it was so cheap. It was the best
For a
place
feast.
ever. It was so sick. But when I'm like walking home from a bar or something and Kentucky Fried Chicken is open till 3 a.m., it's like, I'm going to go in and get a Bucky of Tucky that's going to last all week. Like, I'll have 2 pieces in bed, and then all week I have, like, cold leftovers.
Oh, yeah.
And there
sticky
was
fingers.
legitimate, like, just full Buc-ee's that were, like, stacked to the brim, and it would last all week. And I
don't even count. They don't even count.
I don't know if they count, but, like, last night when I went to, like, Ireland fucking Kentucky Fried Chicken, or last night or the day before, I don't remember, but it was like it comes with 2 fucking mashed potatoes, it comes with 3 orders of French fries, like, there's all this bullshit, and it's like, I don't want this is not gonna last all week.
No.
Like,
No.
I have to eat all 3 orders of French fries before I even get to the Buc-ee. Like,
yeah,
well,
you have to.
That's just smart eating, though. You can't like when we get the full family combo.
Yeah.
And we get the fries and the mashed potato tats and the fucking coleslaw.
Yeah.
Like usually the first night, that's all we eat.
Yeah.
Like the sides. Maybe you have one piece of
fucked
chicken.
Otherwise.
Yeah. You can't be fucking. Yeah. Like, you know, that gravy is disgusting as is. It doesn't last the next day.
I opted for curry gravy, and it was pretty good.
Ugh. They don't have curry in Kentucky.
Well, that's what I mean. Every country is fucking different.
Why do they have curry in Ireland?
Because there's a lot of Indians here.
Wow. Like, like
to,
Asian Indians.
Yeah, like the real kind, not the North American Indians.
Yeah. Native.
Yeah.
Not native. Like the actual Indians. No. There's curry everywhere. You can get curry on anything.
Curry's not bad. I'll give you that.
Curry's delicious. And I remember when I left Canada like 2 years ago, like, oh man, I miss fucking poutines. And then when I got to Ireland, it's like curry cheese fries, and it's like, this is kind of better than poutine. Like,
fuck your mouth.
This is fucking delicious. Curry cheese fries are sick.
That's blasphemous.
Yeah, but back to let's rag on Ireland, Kentucky. Fucking sucked.
I don't think I can with you anymore.
The meat was garbage. I demoed all those like 3 orders of fries. I ate both orders of mashed potatoes and the fucking coleslaw.
Yeah.
And then I had like 1 piece of like chicken, and it's like, what is? It was so deep fried and dark. Ooh, like, I feel like a Kentucky Fried Chicken piece has to have that golden brown, like
a little pink in the middle.
Pink.
You don't want the pink either. Like
see
a little bit.
Like the outside.
He's trying to cook.
The outside was like rawhide dark. Like it was like, what is this? Like it's burnt almost.
Yeah. My roommate always gets on me when we get a Bucky-a-Tucky that she's like, make sure you only get like the wings or something, or the white. Like you can get white or dark meat in the fucking something? Yeah. She doesn't like breast. I don't fucking know. It's just put it here and I'll eat it. I don't care if it's on a leg or a fucking wing or a dick.
I just want the skin. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, I just want those 11 herbs and spices.
Yeah, give me the herbs and spices.
Yeah.
Apparently, it's brown sugar is a big one.
Really?
That's what I was told. Yeah.
No.
I remember
tell the people in Ireland because they got the recipe wrong.
At work, one of my boys at work tried to make his own version of KFC and just burnt the fuck out of it because he like tried to do it on the barbecue and like deep fry it and just like seasoned it up and put it on, and apparently like it just like caught fire kind of thing, right? But
yeah, it sounds like what they're doing in Ireland.
But then he like gave it to me. Yeah, but then he gave it to me, and it was like it smelled like KFC. Yeah. And if you peeled off all the black and tried it, like obviously now we're just talking about the meat. It's not the same seasoning as the skin. Like that's why you go to
the meat is irrelevant. I just want the skin.
Yeah, you could fucking deep fry a turtle in that, and I'd still eat it.
I'd
eat
the hell
for
sure. It.
But it was good, and he was like, yeah, apparently it's like 11 herbs and spices is just like brown sugar and water or something. Cornstarch.
Well,
there's gotta be 9 other herbs and spices though. Like
the water's not an herb or a spice.
Is sugar an herb or a spice?
No, sugar's not an herb or a spice either.
I think the Colonel definitely would lie to you. Have you seen his friends? The guy from fucking McDonald's and Dave Thomas?
Dave Thomas is a saint. Take it back.
No way. He was born out of wedlock, that bastard.
He wishes he was born out of wedlock. He was born out of, like, you know, God knows what.
Pure respect.
The fucking Colonel, if he says there's 11 herbs, there's 11 herbs.
Yeah. All right.
But
I mean, like, a baker tells you there's a dozen donuts, then you get 13. You know what I'm saying?
That's a baker's dozen.
Yeah, it's fucking. Maybe he's got a Colonel's fucking bucket.
That's another gripe I have. Okay, let's go right into gripes.
All right.
Yeah, sure.
We
One
were
of my
griping before.
favorite goddamn foods in the world is donuts.
Ooh.
And living in this glorious green island of Ireland, donuts cost $3 each. It is fucking bullshit.
What?
Like,
Is that
what
a
the
lie?
fuck? Yeah. You can get, back in the homeland of Canada, you can get probably a dozen donuts for like $8.
Yeah, this is true.
Yeah, and that's
But
expensive.
Half dozen for $5.
Oh,
at
easily.
Hortons.
You could get like a pack of Timbits for $3, $4. Like,
Yeah.
it's dealer's choice. But here, it's like they
Yeah.
only have gourmet donuts. And it's like
Oh, yeah.
€2.50 per donut. It's like, what? Are you serious?
Are they that good, though?
I've
Are
never
they
had
good?
one. I refuse to pay more than 60 cents per donut.
Is that like
Yeah,
a Danish? Like, what the fuck's
No,
a
they're just
gourmet
regular, like, oh, that's what I get at
Bagel?
Hortons. That's what I get at Hortons, but they want 5 times the price.
That's
Wow.
crazy.
It's crazy. That's my
That's
one
highway
gripe.
robbery.
Besides
gripe?
my gripes with the Irish language and the girls that keep dumping me,
And the
I
burger
have
The
the
Kentucky
gourmet
Fried.
donuts.
I have a gripe
Yeah.
with the fucking donut.
Bad KFC. Man, Ireland sounds like a fucking shithole.
Man,
It
what
does.
what have I got myself into?
It's definitely like
Yeah.
a poor man's Canada.
It's
Yeah.
pretty great otherwise though. Like, I'd be definitely
That's what I
down to, like, maybe I'll stay here
All-
longer, because there is like
All
a
the
lot of
sidewalk drinking.
sidewalk drinking, sidewalk
Yeah.
stumbling my ass home. Baseball's
Yeah.
real fun. I feel
I
like
don't know
there's
if
a
you know this,
good
but like
chance
you
I
did
could
that.
try out and get on the Dublin hockey team this summer. Like, why the hell not? Like, I got on the baseball team.
I can skate.
I can fucking
Yeah.
skate and do pretty good slap shots. Like, I'm on that team for sure.
Can do crossovers. yeah. Fair enough.
Backwards crossovers.
I got a gripe for you guys.
Yeah.
This is a real life thing. Has to do with me moving. So like about like the weekend before we moved, we went out for some drinks with some friends, and we got talking about internet and the prices of internet, and I realized that I was just getting like bent over the coals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On my internet, like I'm
Getting-
spending way too much money on my internet. I
Getting
want to say
Irish.
maybe about like $80 to $100 on my between the internet, and I guess I had to rent the modem as well.
Mm.
That seems
was it-
like a lot.
Right? Seems like a lot.
Yeah.
But so, and this is with like Rogers Telecommunications, like big fucking company in Canada, and so like that's my first problem, right? Like I just like went to like the thickest vein and started sucking from it, right? Like I should have like went around a bit, seeing what was right for me. But either way, so now I call up like Tech Savvy, and they come and set it all up for like including my first month and setup. It was $100, and after taxes now for the next, we're at however long until I stop. It's gonna be like $65, I think, for
That seems
unlimited internet.
Sounds
You know,
about right. Yeah.
perfect for gaming and all that shit. When I spend
The
my
same
80
internet you're paying double for from
Yeah.
Rogers.
right? So then the next day, I call up Rogers and I cancel my internet, and they're just like, "Oh, like, do you want to cancel it? Like, what are you doing?" And I didn't want to tell them that like I had switched companies because I don't think that's like any of their fucking business how I
it's
roll.
not.
So I just said,
But
like,
if you
nope.
do want to throw it in their face, that's a good time to do it.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
that's when they offer you the, like, fucking...
But so that's what I'm
deals.
getting at, right?
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
that like
Yeah.
I told them like, no, I'm actually like I'm moving out of the country, so I don't want it anymore. Which then
Yeah.
they fire back with, well, what we can do is like suspend your account, and then you only have to pay $10 a month, and then when you come back,
No!
it's all ready to go.
Yeah.
And it's like, why the fuck would I do that? Like, why would I not just cancel it, save the $10 and re-fucking up?
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
I'll try to wrap this all up, right? The reason why that's cheaper is because they give you deals as fucking like a new customer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But either way, so I tell him I'm not coming back, and like they can fuck off. And then he's just like, well, what if I offered you internet? Like, okay, and Tech Savvy, where I'm with now, the price is $59. I think is what it's advertised as, right? $59.97.
Yeah.
And then they come at me just like, well, you know what? Like, we can give you the same package for $57.97. Like, would you be willing to do that?
Save a cool
And-
toonie.
Now,
Yeah.
unknown to them, I
That's
already
important.
have like my other internet already set up, And then I just fucking, like, I lose my cool, and I lay into this guy. That it's just like, you fucking assholes. Like, I've been a fucking loyal customer of yours for almost, like, 8 years since I've owned my first cell phone.
Yeah.
And, like, it's not until I leave that you want to give me now internet for half price, which is not even really half price. It's just the competitive rate.
Well, it's significantly cheaper. Yeah.
Like, you guys changed your rates and didn't fucking tell me, like, the loyal customer that I am.
Dude, that's their game.
Right?
It's the same
but
with cell
that's what
phones,
I mean. It's
too.
just so fucking... It's so greasy. It's the same... It's all the same shit, right?
It's so greasy.
Oh, it's just...
I check every month. I check every fucking month. Like to the day, start of the month, or right before my billing cycle, like, what's the new cell phone plan coming out? And, like, not every month, but, like, every other month, every third month, there'll be, like, a significant price reduction in the same plan that I have. Or it'll be what I'm paying, but I'll get 4 more gigs of data.
Yeah.
But so I change it. Like, I change as often as possible, you know?
And so I guess it's on me, right? But it's just that, like... So
well, it's like
I've been paying this for
for
3 years. I've been paying this for internet. The day after I can't, and like they changed their rates how many times since then? They don't tell me. And then when I quit, they offer me that rate, and now I'm not fucking kidding you. Twice today they called me. They've called me all day, every day last week, and now they're doing it twice a day this week.
Like canvassing.
And, like, I guess, like, just trying to get my business back. But it's like, where the fuck was this, like, the last 3 years? Like, you didn't fucking hound me when I could, like, make less, like, pay less on my internet. But now that I'm gone, you're going to call me breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Fucked. Yeah.
You know? Luckily, I'm at work when they call me. So it's like, I just, like, I'll go for lunch and see, like, I have 2 missed calls, both from Rogers Telecommunications.
Well, like, RJ, weren't you saying, like cell phone service and, like having data in Europe is like so much cheaper than it is in North America. It is
fucked. And I didn't know that living in Canada for, you know, having my only cell phone's ever been in Canada. But I had the same, like, experience with Skyler without full-blown lying to a stranger. Like, I remember when I lived in, like, Toronto and, like, go down the street to the Rogers store, like, right at King and Bathurst, shout out to King and Bathurst Rogers, and being like, hey, like, I'm gonna move to Europe for 6 months, like, what can I do to get, like, international, like, roaming, whatever, plan, data? And they're like, oh, nothing. But we can hold your number for $10 a month.
Yeah.
And it's just like, that's not a sell to me, dude. Like, I don't even know what my own goddamn phone number is. Like, this is not the 1990s. Like, I don't know anybody's phone number. No, at the time when I went there, it's like my live-in girlfriend, I don't know her phone number. Like, what are you talking about?
I don't know my roommate's girl.
I don't know their phone numbers. Like, me paying you $10 a month, and okay, for 6 months, it's like 60. Like, that's not a big deal. But, like, that's not a sell. Like, me saving this number. It's like, no.
Well, that number's not attached to, like, your business.
Doesn't mean anything to me.
Yeah, it
doesn't
mean
anything to me. Like, fuck that number. I'm gone. So it's like, okay, they'll just cancel it. And it's like, oh, there's like a $50 unlocking fee. And it's like, that's fucking bullshit. Like, you're just taking my money. Like, suck on these. But because of this, like, for sure, here's my unlocking fee. Take it. My contract is done. I know all that. But it's just like, whatever that goddamn Canadian unlocking fee was, like, let me go. And then getting to Europe, and I think maybe the first 4 months I just didn't have a SIM card. It's just like, I don't care. Mm-hmm. Like, I really love the idea of, like, back to the old days of, like, I'll just, like, check in when I'm at home. And if I'm out doing
MSN
shit,
Messenger.
if I'm out doing shit, like, I'm not constantly checking my phone. Like, it really overrides that whole cell phone addiction thing. Yeah. And, like, I really do like that. But then I got to a point, fuck Apple and their goddamn infinity gripes to Apple. There was a point when I was living in Italy last summer where it was like, oh, there's an update to your phone. Like, do you want to do it? Like, whatever it does, bug fixes, bullshit, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, yeah, hit the button. And then it, like, does its, like, 30 minutes of updates. And it's like, okay, to like finish the update, you have to install a SIM card. And it's like, I don't have a SIM card. And I like email Apple, and it's like, hey, I don't have a SIM card, and it's asking me to do this. Like, what's the workaround? And they're like, oh, there's no workaround. Like, you have to install a SIM card. And I'm like,
so now your phone doesn't work? Like, you're stuck?
Eventually, yeah. That's what it was like. I'm fucking stuck. Like, my phone is just a brick. Like, there's nothing I can do. And they're like, oh, just like install a SIM card. Like, it's no big deal. And it's like, no, like, I'm living in Italy right now. Like, I'm from Canada. Like, I'm emailing Apple Canada. It's a Canadian phone. I'm like, no, this is not okay. What do I do? And they're just like, I'm sorry, sir, there's just no workaround. Like, you can't finish the update unless it registers a SIM card. Like, best, like, if you really don't want... And I'm like, well, check your fucking records. Like, I paid Rogers to unlock it. And they're like, yeah, we see that. Like, you fully have an unlocked, it's free and paid for phone.
Yeah.
But to finish the update, you can't go to the next step without it, like, registering a SIM card. And it's like, what the fuck is that?
Strange.
That makes no sense.
Yeah.
It sounds... It's
And
a software
they're like,
update.
okay, well, like, the workaround, I guess, would be to go to your local, like, cell phone store and ask someone to just put, like, a loaner card in and then finish the update and then, like, take it out. And it's like, listen, you fucking bitch. Pardon my language.
Fucking angry now.
I'm living in some random fucking town in Italy. I know like 7 words. Like, there's no goddamn way I'm gonna be able to walk into a store and be like, oh, you know, my friend, like, put your fucking card in while I update my phone and then take it out.
my friend,
Come on, mi amigo, like, amiga, whatever the fuck it is. I was like, you're fucking me. And she's just like, well, when you come back to Canada, it'll be real quick. How long's your trip? And it's like, listen,
Undetermined.
I'm gonna fucking smash this computer, and then Apple's gonna have another thing that I'm gonna be emailing you about from someone else's phone.
Yeah. How long's
My
your trip?
friend.
Until they run out of horse meat.
But then I went to the goddamn, like, cell phone store, shout outs to Wind Mobile Europe, and it's dirt cheap, and I felt so bad for everybody in Canada.
Yeah, they got those here though, like the Wind and...
But it's so
whatever.
cheap. It's like $20 a
bullshit
month. Like, it's like, really? Like, back in Canada, like, if you got a good deal, it's like 80. I remember before I left, I was paying 120. It was like 120 a month for, like, unlimited.
Yep, that's where I'm at. I'm like around the $100 mark, and and it's not unlimited, so like there's a chance of me going over.
Yeah.
And you know, like you were talking about, like, not having, you know, a SIM card and like being able to, like, you know, put your phone down for like the day and only connect with people when you're home and stuff. Like, it is a lot harder, like, to get into that mindset when it feels like you have unlimited data.
It is,
you know,
because
and where I don't have unlimited data, but I have enough that it's like I can literally just like cruise apps if I wanted to and do whatever I want all day, every day, with the chances of me going over being slim.
Yeah.
You know, but I'm paying for it. I'm paying at least $100 a month. Like, I got a bill some point in the last 6 months. I was almost $200 because the change didn't take effect until the next billing cycle.
Yeah.
And it was just like, I just wanted to get off the phone. I didn't even hear that part of the spiel, right? When I'm like changing my plan. And ended up paying almost $200. They took it down a little bit, but still, it's like $150 a month for me to like just comfortably use my phone whenever I want. Yeah. Without any concern. Like, that's too much money. That's $100 too much money.
It's a lot of money.
Like, why is there a cap on bandwidth with cell phones in this country, where it's like every other country, it doesn't seem to fucking matter?
And for me anyway, like, living in Canada, only knowing Canadian cell phones, is like, oh, that's just what it costs. Like, it's expensive.
Yeah.
But then, like, coming here, and the cheapest I ever had was in, like, fucking Montenegro, like the butthole of the entire continent.
Yeah.
It was €10 a month for, I think, like 30 gigs. Like, it wasn't unlimited.
No,
but like 30 gigs is a lot.
That's more than enough.
Plenty.
Yeah, unless you're watching Netflix on your little phone.
Yeah, and I was there for a month, so maybe like 25 days in, like, of the like 35, 40 days I was there. Like, I was a month and change. maybe like 25 days in. Like if you look on your iPhone, it shows you like what usage you're at.
Your usage.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, I should go down to the like random fucking like shack on the side of the street and buy another like $5 SIM card. And that will get me over for the last few days.
Yeah.
And it was as easy, and like even if I think that like, oh, it costs $15 a month, it's like that is so nothing. Like you don't even $15 a month, and it's like my apartment didn't have Wi-Fi. So it was like every time, like even like I'm at home and it's like, oh, I want to watch a show. It's like I just hit a hotspot on my phone, or if we did this like podcast, it's like hotspot on my phone.
Yeah, you were doing that.
And it's still like I'm under 30 gigs a month. Like it's not hard to stay under 10 a week, 4 weeks in a month. It's like, okay, I would have probably gone over, but I did go buy another like $5 card, and it's as simple as like, here's my ID, which is from fucking Canada. Like, they can't even read English. And they just give me, like, a $5 card. And it's like, done, thanks, bye.
Well, they're I guess they're starting to institute things now where it's like, you have unlimited... it's happening in the States, and I heard that it might come to Canada with Rogers, oddly enough. But it's like you pay your $80 a month, you get unlimited everything, unlimited data, but it's throttled at a certain...
Right.
So after 10 gigs, they're going to throttle it down to like significantly slower data transfer rate, or like, Wi-Fi transfer rate or whatever. But it's still kind of a nice idea where it's just like, okay, well, now I never have to worry about going over. It's just like, oh, my email is going to load a little slower, or I have to let this buffer a little bit at a certain point, which is still kind of shitty, but I would be much happier paying for that. Getting my 10 gigs at full speed and the unlimited at a reduced speed, and never having to worry about paying $200 for a fucking phone bill.
What pisses me off though is there's no, as far as I know, like,
what a good gripe,
technological like hang up on this. It is just about money.
Yeah.
Like Rogers and Bell and all these fucking bullshit companies in Canada have been making money on phone lines their whole lives. And they spent all this money over the last 100 years to erect phone lines across the whole country, which are irrelevant now. They're irrelevant. Like, we don't need those anymore.
No, but you know what's interesting when you say that is, like, when I did my Tech Savvy thing, it was a Bell Communications guy.
Yeah, Tech Savvy just linked, like, license it or whatever they fucking call it.
But that's just it. It's like Bell and Rogers has, like, this monopoly on everything. That even all these little Kudos and Fidos and everything is owned by them. And you have to, like, like you're saying, all these lines that they're laying are nothing. Like, they don't use them anymore. It's like, no, like, they still do. And that, like, everybody ties in on that shit.
Yeah, they lease it off.
Yeah, that it's like... It's still bullshit. It's like, oh, you think you're getting away from Rogers, do you? Well, you're not.
No, there's still money trickling down into their pocket for sure.
Yeah. Fucking.
Well, this is a pretty general gripe. Like, it might take us another fucking 20 minutes deep, but fashion. Fashion. Just fashion. And I don't know if we talked about it on the podcast, but we definitely talked about it, like, independent from it. Like, collectively, the three of us, but and RJ, like, I've been noticing so much more since you brought it up.
Thrasher and Levi's?
Thrasher, man.
Yeah.
All the preteen girls, specifically preteen girls, like, wearing Thrasher. Like, there'll be a gackle of them, or like someone walking with their mother, and it's like they got a fucking,
maybe stop
hot.
Looking at fucking preteen girls, you fucking weirdo.
It's fucking Michael Jackson right now.
Yeah, bring us to our next segue.
No, let's not go that quick into it.
Yeah, this week we watched a fucking documentary of Michael Vieira, the fucking pedo.
Fucking
whatever.
Yes, of preteen girls.
Are the pretty much experts fucking unraveling the fucking pedophile ring that is their own show right now?
We promised.
This is like when Neo walks into that, like, God's office in the second Matrix, and it's just like, what the fuck? What are we watching?
Whoa.
It's not like that. It's not like that.
Shoutouts to Jake Phelps from Thrasher. Rest in peace.
Brother of Michael.
Back to Mikey's gripe with Thrasher t-shirts.
And fashion.
Yeah, well, it's mostly just fashion and, like, how everything has been adopted and watered down. You hear about it. Cultural appropriation, and like people have some real gripes about it, right? Like they do. Like people have some real gripes. They're legitimate. Like they're gripes I don't understand because it's not my culture. Like, like for instance, when Halloween comes around and all the Native American headdresses are, in the costume aisle. Like I get it.
People having dreads.
Yeah, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like it's been happening. It's just like now it's happening to my shit. Like we talked about this, like buying, like people will go spend hundreds of dollars on like a tattered up leather jacket that's full of like, Walmart studs and patches that say like Route 66, and stuff like that. And it's like you're walking
to the
around
hand or something.
Yeah, tuck to the hand. And you're walking around with your shitty haircut and your fucking shitty clothes that you just spent $1,000 on, and it's like, get the fuck out of here. Like I feel like bashing, like a way I feel like bashing nerds, I feel like bashing them, preteen girls specifically, and Asians.
Specifically. Yeah.
So your gripe is
preteen Asian girl.
Cultural
my gripe is
appropriation.
Yeah. Well, I guess like boil it down. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really fucking like, it's really selfish of me to latch onto this now when it's affecting me and I'm actually like, upset by it, where it's been bothersome to other cultures and demographics for so much longer in much more impactful ways. But it's like, this is my thing. Like, you're not a fucking punk.
No, it's true.
You're not a fucking punk. You're not a fucking... And I'm not a skateboarder. I don't go out and buy fucking Thrasher,
Yeah.
Like, sure, I've fallen off a skateboard and...
I don't buy Thrasher anymore, but like when me and Skyler were fucking kids back in the day, like we had a subscription to Transworld for...
Yeah, we all did.
I don't remember how many years we had Transworld subscription. And then
Pattersons are really into ladyboys, is what we're saying.
But eventually we like switched over to Thrasher. I don't know if you remember that.
It wasn't Transworld. It was trans from all over the world.
Yeah, we're big on the fucking trans, man. You can't hate on trans. It's fucking Pride
trans
month.
over the world.
It's Pride month. Trans forever.
Yeah,
but we switched to Transworld maybe around the year 2001. I don't know. But it was like, no, this is our magazine. Like, this is the punk version of skateboarding. I think for a hot minute we had Big Brother magazine, which was even more punk, but it didn't last very long.
No, that was really punk and dirty.
Yeah, Big Brother was the best. But it was
Big Brother was basically porn and skateboarding.
Yeah, it was fucking
it was
sick.
kick-ass.
But it was like, we started with the gateway drug of Transworld. We got the Tony Hawks and the Bucky Lassics.
Yeah.
Switch over to Big Brother, and it's just like Corey Duffel and Steve-O and Johnny Knoxville, like all those fucking guys that aren't even skateboarders, but it was hilarious.
Yeah.
And then it was like, oh no, but Thrasher is us. Like Thrasher is Andrew Reynolds. Thrasher is
Jeff
Rowley, fucking the best. And like that was our magazine for years. And now it does fucking hurt me to see like, oh, Thrasher is just like guess. Like everyone just has Thrasher. I walk around every day. I skateboard every day, and it's just like
huge.
It's not like
It's everyone in
fucking
their brother.
griping on fashion.
Yeah.
I do remember in the early like fucking 2000s when you would start to see people wearing like Vans shoes, and it's like, no, those are skateboarding shoes. Like, why do you have those? And for like me and Skyler that were skateboarders, it's like, no, we skateboard. That's why we have Vans. Like, I remember Skyler had a set of sick Willie Santos shoes. Yeah. And it's like, he has those shoes because he skateboards.
Right? Like, they were the cheap
They were
skate
cheap,
shoe.
and they were built for skateboarding. And then you just meet strangers that have, like, the Jeff Rowleys, and it's like, oh, we skateboard? And then you look down, and it's still the giveaway to this day. Like, I'll meet people that have skateboards, and I just like glance down, and it's like, oh, they're not scuffed at all. Like, you don't know how to ollie.
I remember like being in high school and trying to like make friends with kids, and they would have like Dakine like backpacks and stuff, and it's like, oh, you skate? And they'd look at me like, ew, no. And it's like, why the fuck do you have a backpack with skate straps on it?
Dude,
what the fuck? Like,
and like, I don't know, I've been conscious of that. I've been conscious of that for a long time, like pre-high school, where it's like, I've always been a fan of skateboarding, and I've fucking tried it. Like, I tried it for years, you know? For
Yeah.
10 years of my youth, I tried to get better at it. I just couldn't do it, you know? It wasn't my bag, but I was always conscious that, like, I'm not a fucking skateboarder. Like, I appreciate it. I'm a fan, you know? Like, my friends skate, you know? It is what it is. I am in that culture in some respects, but, like, I'm not a fucking skateboarder. Like, I'm not gonna go and buy DC and fucking, like, the last pair of skate shoes I owned were ES shoes because they were sick, and I was still trying to skateboard, and it was, like, it was high school, but, like, I haven't bought a fucking pair of skate shoes since. Like, I don't skate. Like, I wear boots, man. Like, I'm a man. I'm a working man. I wear fucking boots. You know?
I remember too, yeah.
And it is what it is. It's just fashion, right? Like, I get that some people don't, like, you know, see the world that way. Like, it's fashion, it's accessible, it's cheap, it's you know, whatever, it's in style. Like, that's not me, it's never been me. So now it's like, now you're taking, like, literally everything that I hold dear in some respect, or I understand how other people feel about, and you're just fucking bastardizing it.
Yeah.
No, I totally get it. And even, like, I'm so sensitive to that as someone that has been skateboarding, like, as long as I can remember. Like, I think I got my skateboard in 1995 or 6 or whatever. And I skateboard not every day, but maybe twice a week. And I'm still, like, very sensitive to, like, poser-ish. So for years, like, I wouldn't buy skate shoes because, like, I'm not hardcore. Like, I'm not down to thrash every day. I'm not down to go to, like, in Toronto, it's like Dunbat is like the, like, dirty skate park. It's like, I'm not going to go there every day. So I felt a little bit like of an outsider of, like, I don't want to go to a skate shop and buy skate shoes. Like, I feel like a bit of a poser. Even though it's like, I can fully, like, hang.
Yeah, you can hang. Yeah.
I can hang. But I would just buy, like, Adidas or whatever, like, random shoes that's just, like, they kind of, like, function as skate shoes, but they aren't, like, I'm not going to go and buy whatever the, like, hot topic of the day is. But it was only...
And even if your finger's on the beat or your thumb's on the beat, it's like you're not immersed in it enough to be, like, fully there. And I think that's just, like...
I'm sensitive
that's, like, part of our personalities.
That I'm aware that that's a thing. But then... maybe in, like...
It's like you're not wearing band shirts that you don't fucking like. It's like, I'm not going to go buy a Deadbolt shirt. No. Even though their fucking logos are rad and, like, you know, they play okay music. I'm not a Deadbolt fan. I'm not going to go buy a fucking Deadbolt shirt.
Yeah.
You know?
That's true.
Or, like, I'm not wearing a fucking Pantera shirt because I knew that one song once in high school. Like, I'm not a fan of that band.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Just because I like a culture that's kind of kissing cousins to it doesn't mean I'm okay wearing fucking Slayer, like, and Pantera.
To add on, this is, like, not in our wheelhouse at all. At least not you guys. You guys are more punk than I am. But, like, I like my Maple Leafs. I like my Blue Jays. Like, I follow. Dicks. I do dabble. I like following.
Like a mean dick.
You know, but also, like, if you've listened, like I don't give a fuck about the Raptors and didn't jump on bandwagons Raptors when they were winning their championships. Yeah. But I do like baseball and I like hockey. And I remember there was one night. I guess it's, like, all just the same, where it's like, for every Thrasher shirt that you're seeing on a person that they have no business wearing, in the other spectrums of
the
life,
mainstream,
the mainstream. Like, I remember going to the bar one night. Now, this is a stuffed olive, and, like, anyone that listens to this show and, like, has ever been there knows that it was a bit of a shit show. And,
shout out to stuffed olive.
We definitely kind of ran the place for a bit. And
the fun.
And I remember one night getting in an altercation. It didn't come to blows, but I got in an altercation with a kid who was wearing a Pittsburgh Pirates baseball hat.
Yeah.
And it was just such a weird, like, nobody likes the fucking Pirates. Like, they're
I didn't even know that was a team.
Right?
You know?
Baseball. And I fucking called this kid out on just, like, you know, 6 Pittsburgh Pirate players, current, dead, or alive. Like, name them. Go. Yeah. And kid couldn't name any. He throws it back in my face, like, can you name 2? And it was, like,
Barry
at the
Bonds?
time... Yeah, no, but at the time it was just, like, like, Barry Bonds. I don't know if Barry Bonds on the team.
No,
but
I don't
like
even know.
No,
Andrew
he's a fucking
McCutcheon
giant.
and Russell Martin are both fucking penguins are pirates, right? Like,
You know, if he
again,
was witty, he could have just said any
Any
fucking
names,
six
and I would have
names,
been
and you would have
cool.
been like, okay.
yeah.
Andy
Sorry,
Moog.
But just like then grilled the kid that it's just like, why the fuck would you buy and wear and support this team when you have no
Fashion,
fucking background to it at all, no interest in it.
Yep.
It just looks cool.
Yeah.
Like, you have no
Yeah.
idea what that, it could be anything. Like, you just buy it and it looks cool, but it's like a fucking swastika, you know?
Right,
Like,
yeah.
that's an
Yeah.
extreme.
But
But
it's
anyways,
not
it
far
ended
off.
with this. It ended with this kid and me and him getting in his. I got in his face and I was like, "Take your fucking hat off," and he basically took it off and threw it into the parking lot. And then I was just like, "Get out of my bar!" And the bouncer kicked him out because he was my friend.
Now it
Go get
sounds like
Go get your hat
sounds
and
like
don't come back.
it sounds elitist, and it sounds like, you know, I don't know. It sounds very white privilegey,
Yeah.
right?
The best kind.
And sure, if you want to feel that way about it, fine.
Reeks
But I
of
just
it.
I just don't want you to take my thing and fucking turn it into Walmart.
right.
Yeah.
You know? Like, I just
Yeah.
don't want to see my thing shared by masses of people that don't feel the same way I do about it, or
you can
any
see through it though. You
live
can
in
see
that.
through it.
You can see
Yeah.
through it.
You
Oh
can
yeah.
see
For
through
sure.
it. You can see those like shitty denim jackets that come with pre-made patches that just say
Anybody who wears
you
a
know,
fucking
high
wristband,
five.
you know,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
like if you got studs on a wristband, to get fucked.
or
man.
the wristband that has like holes for like guitar picks that are when you meet the person they're
fucked.
full. It's like you
Yeah,
need
get
guitar
fucked.
picks all the fucking day. Like where are you hanging out?
Yeah, keep one in your wallet like a regular person.
Yeah. Or just don't
Yeah.
use one. Just fucking finger pick the odd time a goddamn guitar comes up. Like you don't need one 24 hours a day, you goddamn.
Yeah.
Who doesn't keep a pick with their guitar anyways?
Oh,
Like, I feel like you pass
ridiculous.
it around, it's there, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's
Yeah.
not like that guy's like, no, it's gotta go back on my wrist.
Yeah.
Or
it's
stop
like
being a bitch and use a bread tag. Come on.
Yeah,
anything,
exactly.
Anything.
You know?
Break off your fucking debit card like a man.
Yeah, use a matchbook. Like, there's plenty of fucking things you can use if you
Yeah.
need a pick, because you're
yeah.
just about to rip into this burning hot solo.
Yeah. Use
You
your
know?
fucking coke nail when you play your Motley Crue.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
You're
Like,
only gonna play 2/3 of Stairway to Heaven anyways.
Yeah,
What do
and
you
then
need
you're
a
gonna be
pick
like,
for?
oh, and you know the rest.
you can't
Yeah,
hit
there is
that
after
solo,
that.
you fucking
Right
poser.
into Freebird.
You
You
can't
know?
hit
Yeah.
that solo.
Right into some Queen.
Back to the shoe thing now. I wanted to wrap that up. I do have a pair of like Andrew Reynolds Americas that I wear when I'm skateboarding. But in a weird way, it's like I feel fucking strange wearing those day to day. Like just walking around with like right shoes all fucked up, there's no laces, and the left shoe has like a little bit of a buff on it. But it's like I'm not that good at switch. I can do a switch kickflip and a switch ollie, that's it. And me being like a purist skater, it's like I don't want to wear that every day and like give that false like I'm a skater.
Yeah.
And I think that's the difference where it's like I'm so like not afraid, but like I don't want to front and be like, oh yeah, I'm
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
Rob
Not
Deerdick
interested.
or some like jackass like skater that everybody knows. That like I have another pair of shoes I wear day to day. When I go skateboarding, I wear my skateboarding shoes.
I also feel like, though,
Yeah.
in all of this and listening to us, I feel like I say this every time, but it's just like, just be yourself. Who gives a shit? Like, I barely
That's
wipe
true.
my ass. There's no one else in the washroom. I'm not wiping or washing my hands.
I don't
give a
wash my
fuck.
hands, but I'll wipe my
You know what I
ass. I don't
mean?
want an itchy.
No.
I don't want an itchy
Pass.
hole. You'll just walk around itchy?
Oh yeah,
Dingleberries and all?
all of them. The hardest hardest berry.
The
How many
forbidden
times? How many times there's someone in the bathroom where you're like, I should wash my hands because there's someone in the bathroom? You know,
Oh,
does that
every
happen
time
a lot?
I use a public, yeah.
Well, like I'm at work. Like, we have
Yeah,
a
it
shared
gets
washroom
public.
at work. It's not like the roommate's sitting there watching me deuce.
I
And
was
then,
gonna say, like, you never wash your hands at home? Like, is that?
yeah.
Never at
Oh
home.
no, I'm not an
No,
animal.
never. When I go to like a public washroom, I'll wash my hands before. It's like my dick isn't dirty. Like I don't need to like clean
Yeah.
my fucking hands after I piss. Like that doesn't make
No.
any sense to me.
Yeah,
It's not a
usually
real
don't.
bird. You don't gotta wash your hands
No,
after you
it
touch
doesn't
it.
have
No.
influenza.
No, it doesn't have its own flu
It doesn't have
most of
flu.
the time.
Like there's nothing on my
You
hands.
still might need to get a shot if you put it in your mouth, but that's something else.
Yeah, that's your.
But that's
yeah,
a different. That's a horse of
problem.
another color. Like
Yeah.
putting your
It's
fingers
your
in your
problem.
mouth. Yeah. How old are you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's move on to my fucking gripe. Here we are.
That was your gripe.
No, that was Mike's gripe.
Holy fuck, we got 40 minutes of gripes. I think we got to get to the show here. I thought that was perfect segue.
I don't even give a fuck about the show today.
You know how old?
So I'm happy to gripe.
This is a gripe show. My fucking gripe is with Norwegian Air, who I took from Hamilton, Ontario.
Yeah, you started the gripe.
No, that was just an off-the-cuff gripe. This is my real gripe that I wrote down. I took a flight.
I don't trust the Norwegians for anything.
Hamilton to Dublin, Norwegian Air, $200 one way. I'm feeling like this is a deal of a lifetime.
Yeah, with Swoop? Did you go with
Swoop?
Swoop?
No, Norwegian Air. Are you fucking deaf?
Oh, you actually... No, but you booked it with Norwegian Air?
Yeah, that's the airline.
Oh, okay.
There is a Swoop booth.
You fucking deaf?
You fucking deaf? Open your ears, jackass.
Get the dicks out of your ears.
I fucking went with Norwegian Air. So when I get to the airport on Norwegian Air...
Is that like Air Canada's?
Why are you saying it like that? It's Norwegian, not Norwegian.
Because I feel like the Norwegians are understanding.
You say it like it's a Ouija board, though.
So I get there with my backpack. Like, I packed light as fuck. And they're like, any check-in luggage? Okay, so let's back this up one step. They're Norwegian Air.
Norwegian.
Norwegian.
Norwegian, not Norwegian.
The Weegish airline.
No, they're not Weegish.
They're Weegish. The fucking
it's not
Weegish.
Fucking Weegish and Kelly. Like, say it right or don't say it all.
The goddamn Weegish. Their whole business model is the flight is cheap, but every extra is a goddamn fortune.
Yeah.
And it's like,
typical.
okay.
So it's like standing room only?
Yeah, but it's like, I'll take you on that. Like, I'll play that game. I'll dance with that devil.
Yeah.
So I get to the...
I'll take that action.
I'll take that action. Yeah, let it ride. So I get to the goddamn, like, gate, check in, and they're like, any check-in luggage? And I'm like, no. Like, just, carry on. Suckers. And I do the, like, DX crotch chop, as I do.
Okay.
And they're like, do you want to weigh your bag, sir? I'm like, no, it's light. And they're like, weigh your bag. So I, like, plop it down. And they're like, it's 11 kilo. I'm like, yeah, I don't have much. And they're like, the limit is 10. And it's like, what?
No.
Like, the limit's 10. And I'm like, can I take stuff out and then reweigh it? And she's like, no.
What?
Like, we weighed it. It's 11. Like, the plane has a maximum occupancy, whatever. Like, you're over the line, you got to pay the penalty. And we have to, like, check it. I'm like, okay, like, fuck.
Well, that's bullshit, because it's like
bullshit.
Everything's in your fucking bag that
Everything's
you don't want to check.
Bag. Yeah, and they're like...
Yeah, because if they lose your bag, then there goes your passport, your fucking everything.
And I'm like, well, computer. Like, what is the fucking fee to weigh it? Or to, like, pay to check it? She's like, $100.
Wow.
I know. Like, suck me rotten. So I'm paying $200 to fly across the ocean, and another $100 for them to just take my bag now, like on the spot.
Oh my god,
that's Airstream robbery.
Goddamn Norwegish. And I'm like, okay, fine. Like, fuck, I got like, there's nothing I can do about it. So here's my.
Dude, that's when you just take the shoes out and fucking throw them in the garbage and be like, weigh it again.
Or just wear like
that's
2
what
pairs
I said.
of underwear.
Like, can I just like take out a sweater and put it on? Like, can I do anything? And they're like, no. Like, once it's weighed.
Fuck off. That's not a rule. You just made that rule up. So
they just made that up.
Like, that's
we go deeper, and I'm like, fine, fuck it, whatever. Here's my card. Like, swipe it. Goddamn, you goddamn cocksuckers, you got me.
I would have been.
And I'm like
all over
aware of like, oh, their business is just like basement model. Every extra is like a fortune. Like, they fucking got me.
You want
and
peanuts?
Then as she's like taking my backpack, she's like, oh wait, is there a computer in this? And I'm like, yeah. Like, I'm a freelance artist. Like, yes, my computer's in that. She's like, oh, well, we can't, like, check your bag if it has a computer in it.
Oh, my God.
And I'm like, well, what do you mean? And she's like, oh, if a computer goes into the baggage storage, it'll explode. And then me being fucking hilarious, I'm like, you're not allowed to say that word in an airport. And she just looks at me like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And I'm like, I know, sorry, I'm like too funny for you.
No. Sorry, I'm from North
America.
America.
So what am I supposed to do? And she's like, you got to take your computer with you. I'm like, but you're taking my bag, you fucking bitch.
That the computer's in.
You goddamn bitch.
Yeah.
So like, It's on the scale. I slide the computer out. I see it drop to 8.5. Well under the 10. I'm like, well, now it's under 10. And she's like, but it's too late. Like, you've brought like 11 kilos of fucking like baggage with you. Like, whether or not this computer's in it or not, like, you're over the line.
I'm like, fuck that, man.
Like, and now I have to go through like, this is just like checking in. So now I have to go through the rest of the goddamn airport just holding a computer like a goddamn Nimrod. Like, I have to go through, like, take your shoes off, like, all that bullshit, like, and just holding a computer under my arm.
You're carrying a computer around like it's actually going to explode.
And I have to go to the bathroom at one point, and it's like, now I have to, like, walk into a toilet with a goddamn computer on my arm, like a goddamn pedophile. Like, heads up to our main topic, Michael Jackson.
I don't think we should get into it this week.
We're just gonna save it?
I don't.
So I think we should. It was pretty stupid myself.
It was so dumb.
There's actually a lot
it's
to
not
talk
even
about.
worth a full episode. Like, I think we can gripe over it for 15 minutes like we're doing for Norwegian
You're right.
Air.
We should just gripe about
We'll
it.
just
But
gripe.
before we do,
wait, I'm
like,
not even
that
done
is
my
some
story.
serious fucking bullshit. Like, let me put my fucking hat in the ring here. Like, the computer's out of the bag. So you got your bag.
It's
you got your
bullshit.
Less than fucking 10 kilogram
8.5.
bag, which is perfectly fine. Even if you checked it, it's more than 10 kilograms. So it's not like you're flying on a Cessna and there's weight restrictions. Like, you're flying on a commercial fucking airline.
Either way,
Smaller
there's
plane,
11
I'm sure,
kilos
but
of goddamn weight on the plane.
there's 11
it
kilos no matter where
anything.
you put it on the fucking plane. There's 11 kilos. The computer's out. Now that becomes your fucking personal item. You're allowed to fucking carry on and a personal item.
Yeah.
That becomes your personal item. So where the fuck did you break any rules here?
So then I'm like getting ready to get on the plane, and I like text my like girl that I'm kind of dating in Ireland. I'm like, oh fuck, like first world problems. Like, I've been flying so much this year that every flight I go on, it's the same movies. Like, I've watched Shawshank Redemption like 11 times. Like, LOL, whatever.
Solid flick.
Fast forward 2 weeks, she dumps me. But I get on the plane, and there's not even a TV screen or anything.
Oh,
like, I have to sit there for 6.5 hours just looking at the seat in goddamn front of me. With every 20 minutes, the like stewardess taps me on the shoulder, and she's like, coffee or wine? And for like a hot second, I'm like, give me like 4 wines. Let me get like over the line drunk, and I'll fall asleep.
Yeah.
But a wine was $12 for 4 ounces.
Oh my god.
Is that bad?
Yeah.
That's bad. 4 ounces.
4 ounces?
4 shots.
That's like a shot.
I don't know what fucking wine. I don't drink wine.
But like
fucking
4
Nancy.
shots.
Like, think a shot is 1 ounce.
Okay. I don't know
shot.
these things. Again, I don't do shots either.
How many is a shot in milliliters? Like 50?
I thought you were
At
asking
most?
Siri. Yeah, I don't know.
50 at most? Because I got this bottle of wine called Quantum. On the back, it is in a language I don't understand. It looks Russian.
It's
$4.
$7.50.
$4.
Yeah.
$4 bottle of wine.
Nice.
Yeah.
This would cost
yep.
upwards of $40 on a goddamn...
But that's how they get you,
That's
right? Like,
where they
once you're in
get
the
ya.
air.
But they wouldn't leave me... Like, you already got me. Like, leave me God. Like, you already took my $100. Like, leave me God.
Yeah. For this price, you could have taken a fucking WestJet.
And that's where I'm at now. It's like, well, maybe when like I come back in September, I'll take a goddamn Aer Lingus for like $150 more and actually be like treated like a human being.
So you're gonna do anal?
Sounds,
Is that what you're talking about?
sounds like you might get your dick sucked too.
Yeah. Little Colonel Angus.
Give me some fucking
Aer
Aer Lingus,
Lingus.
like Irish, like, you know, hand job and a sandwich. Give me something, fucking Air Norwegia.
Baked potato and a hand
Give
job,
me
Aer
a
Lingus.
spud and a blowj.
Yeah.
Fucking blowjer. Blowj suck, Jay.
Spud and a blowj.
Oh,
fuck.
no. Yeah, that's fucking horrible.
Fucking
I'd be
bullshit.
getting fucking escorted out of that airport. Man,
Oh,
I
was ripe. I was ripe to be had.
I have a hard time going
Again,
through
are
all
you
that
talking about
shit.
anal or?
I have a
feel
hard
like
time
it.
dealing with that kind of shit when I'm alone. Because when I'm
I was
alone, there's no one to like help me reel it in. So like in your position right there, you're alone, you're trying to fly out. For sure I would have got escorted off the airport property. if I'm flying with a friend or family or girlfriend or whatever, usually like I can keep my wits about me because it's like I don't want to embarrass myself in front of this person that I like or that's a friend of mine, or they can be like, hey man, like, you know, cool it. But like when it's just me, no, I can't let my temper gets the better of me in those situations. Yeah. Where it just seems so shitty. Like you're just doing everything you can to fuck me right now. I'm trying to work with you.
I think that's the Air Norwegia fucking business, whatever.
I'm never
tagline.
Going to Norwegia.
Do whatever we can do to fuck you.
Yeah. And then do it twice. Yeah.
We'll get you. We'll fuck you good. We'll get you.
Speaking of like Norwegian Air's like tagline.
Yeah.
How about this week's show?
Fuck. So maybe a month ago we did a double episode. Yeah. So I think a month ago. If this episode goes longer, it becomes a two-parter, so be it.
It's not.
But a month ago,
we'll be done in 20.
We did a fucking episode on Leaving Neverland, whatever station, HBO. What was it? Do you guys remember what show?
It was HBO.
Was it HBO?
Yeah, HBO.
HBO, yeah.
HBO went down hard on Michael Jackson and the sexual molestation charges. And we did a two-part episode covering both episodes because they were like pretty in-depth. And since then...
Oh yeah, like you're right, they went down hard. They almost went down as hard on Michael Jackson as Michael Jackson did on Wade's butthole.
Like...
I knew it. I knew you were going there.
You watch that
I didn't want to interrupt.
If you watch that show and don't feel for Wade and his butthole and whatever that...
And
Jimmy, Johnny, whatever his name was... You have no soul. Like, it was fucking heartbreaking to watch that show. And the three of us went in, like, we're not really Michael Jackson fans, but, like, we've heard the rumors and we watched the show, and it's like, goddamn, this guy's a goddamn monster. But since then, we have got nothing but bullshit messages from Michael Jackson supporters over various forms of social media.
AKA the scum of the earth.
The scum of the earth. Telling us to reconsider. Michael Jackson is magical on Instagram. Go fuck yourself. Like, we've just been getting it, and just like links of like, watch this, it refutes all evidence. So we thought, you know what? Like, we're not ignorant.
Let's give them their day in court.
Give them the day in court. We'll give them the day. We'll watch the goddamn documentaries that they send us.
It might be a kangaroo court, but you get it.
Whatever it is, we're going to watch what they send us and see if there is another side to this argument. Like, we're not so... Like, I don't have an agenda. I watched the Leaving Neverland. I thought, this guy's a goddamn answer. Go to hell. Yeah. But if there's, like, dozens or so of people messaging us to say, hey, man, hey, dudes...
You got it wrong.
Watch this. Like, here's where their confessions are wrong. Like, okay, we're gonna regroup. We watched a handful of like YouTube fucking documentaries, nowhere near the prestige of HBO.
No, not even close to HBO.
And they were all just like kind of poking holes in those documentaries
as a defense.
Omitting their own. You know, whatever facts
obvious
they want.
Biases.
Now, can I just... I'd like to jump in here for a second.
Jump in.
I watched one, and that was all it took for me. And it was an hour, 45 minutes. I sat there and I watched the whole thing.
Oh, it's so painful.
Right? And it was pretty much just... I don't even know who the interview was with. It wasn't until like I was an hour and a half into it, and I looked at the roommate, and it was like, who are even these people talking?
I don't know. It was like a podcast.
I'll tell you who it is. It's goddamn Australians. They all love Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Oh.
I watched 3 documentaries. They're all Australians.
Okay.
He was like a lawyer or something.
Australian lawyer.
Yeah.
That is their type, right?
Yeah.
But so...
Fucking pedo lovers.
Either way, the one that I watched was called Leaving Neverland Take 2.
Yeah.
Right? So when I thought that they were going to do their best to discredit what Jimmy and Wade had said in the HBO documentary.
Yeah. Flash forward an hour and a half and they haven't even talked about it.
Hour and like 40 minutes later, finally... they only mentioned Jimmy once, and it was pretty much in passing. in the last 10 minutes, they kind of try to throw some shade at Wade.
Yeah.
Not try to rhyme. That was
shade at Wade, baby.
Just throwing shade at Wade and it was just like I say, like it was a weird, like, okay, like, you know what, I do kind of feel bad for Michael. There's some sympathy that gets, I'm not a complete monster. Like, I get that the guy had a terrible fucking life.
Yeah.
Kinda, right? Like, kind of. In, like, for
Sort
being a
of being
complete
so
mega
rich,
wicked
yeah.
star. Yeah, like,
Yeah.
you did
Suck
kind
it
of get,
up.
your dad was a piece of garbage.
For sure.
But,
Sure, whatever.
But, like, this whole 2-hour documentary almost, at nowhere do they give any kind of evidence that this didn't happen between Wade and Jimmy. And again,
they
it kind of always
93 and 2003.
Yeah, and it comes back to the whole, like, nobody else is in the room with Wade and Michael at the time. So how can you say that didn't happen?
Right.
You can throw as many facts at me as you want. Like, sure, a lot of it kind of seemed like some of the kids maybe were looking for money, or family members were looking for money.
For sure there were people that
right?
had
Like,
those motives.
I don't feel like them looking for money discredits their claim.
No.
I don't think it does.
No, not totally.
Like,
it does discredit some of the claims, but not theirs specifically.
Same regard, but like a few of, like, I watched 3 documentaries. One was that what he said, like, Leaving Neverland Revisited. I watched one like 60 Minutes with an Ex-Maid. I watched whatever. I watched 3 different ones, and the ongoing theme to discredit the, like, witnesses was like, oh, they testified, they supported Michael all the way until he didn't help them anymore, so therefore their testimony's garbage.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, like, yeah, exactly. Like, this one fucking maid I watched,
look at it.
She went on the stand in 1993 and was like, I saw nothing wrong. And now it's like 2019. She's like, yeah, I saw some bullshit the whole time, but I'm just some maid getting minimum wage. He's paying my bills. I'm living with Michael Jackson. And then I went on the stand and defended him. And then he gave me a bonus of $300 and said, thanks for helping me. And that's when I gave my notice. Exactly. She's like, I went on the line. Like, I perjured myself to help him.
Yourself,
and he gave me $300 like it didn't matter. And that's when I gave, like, what the fuck, I quit. I'm out of here. And I kept my silence for 15 years until all this shit came out, and I'm like, no, like, that all happened. I saw him diddle kids. I cleaned up after his room, and there was, like, bullshit. There's blood on the bed, like, all that stuff.
The one that I watched, there was a big emphasis on the fucking alarm system that he had in his home.
Yeah.
And how it wasn't there for, like, to keep him from being caught with children, but it was there because he was, like, never had a private moment, and because he was so ugly.
Yeah,
he didn't want people seeing him look like the fucking crypt keeper.
Yeah, he didn't want people to see him look as ugly as he actually was. That he had all these fucking.
You gotta
things
believe some of that.
Some of that.
Okay,
sure.
like there's
right?
Okay, sure.
Sure,
but
that's a part of it.
You're in your own fucking home. Like, you have security. Like, if someone's breaking into your home and tripping these alarms, if your first thought is like, "Ooh, don't look at me," it's like, you fucking are so delusional. Like, the guy's probably there to kill you, or probably to stop you from molesting his son.
But even, it's like, you have the lock on your door, so it's locked. People, even part of your team or family, can't just walk into your room if you keep your door locked. So why do you need this elaborate doorbell alarm system?
And the one that I watched, they didn't even fucking touch on the private sex rooms in the theater.
No.
Like, they showed them, but there wasn't anything about, like, oh, and there's, like, you know, how do you...
No, well, the sound engineer guy says, there's all these private... Well, he does speak about it for a second in that
movie.
Lengthy one where he's like, or maybe it was in the shorter one. I don't know. Either way,
it was the shorter one. It
was the shorter one. The Aftermath, I think it was called.
But they don't talk about why. Like, well, so then why was there a bed in there, Michael?
He does.
No, they don't. They don't. They just say basically it was a lounge for him to, like, maintain some privacy in between, you know, recording. It's like, okay, that makes sense, but there's also claims that he used that nefariously, you know.
And that,
but
like,
then why not just
that random sound engineer saying, like, there was rooms all over the place, but I never saw him, like, dicking down a kid.
Yeah.
is not like, oh, he's innocent. He never dicked down a kid. It's like,
No.
that's
Yeah.
he just
how
never did it
entwined
in
is
front
that guy in the
Yeah.
rest of
He
his
never
life?
did in front of the sound
You know?
engineer,
Yeah,
right?
the fucking sound
Yeah,
engineer was
exactly.
not invited. Sorry.
Didn't have fucking bedroom level access
No.
like Jimmy and Wade did.
In
Okay.
the
Now,
shorter documentary.
let's just say,
Yeah.
of the hundreds of kids that have been in Neverland, hundreds probably,
Oh,
right?
Easily.
Easily.
Thousands
of kids that have slept over in Michael Jackson's bed at Neverland Ranch, that not one of them was mistreated after all these accusations and people coming forward with their motives or no motives and this, that not one of them was mistreated.
Yeah.
Like, can you seriously sit here, no matter how big of a fan you are, or a skeptic, or any fucking category you fall into, there's not a part of your brain that's like, doubtful?
No.
That not one of these fucking kids, like, I don't know for sure, because I can't, like, stomach this shit long enough to actually give a fuck and do proper research. Like, I'm just watching these bullshit documentaries. I don't doubt at all that some of those kids were mistreated.
No.
At all.
There's one point in the
there's
like
little bit of
shorter
research I've done.
documentary.
I
I
don't
don't remember
doubt it.
what it was called, like Neverland,
No one
like
sleeps
Back
with
to
kids like
Neverland
that.
or some bullshit. And they tried to like sweep all these accusations under the bridge, and they're just like, oh, he gets sued all the time. And there's like quick clips of like this like chick that she's like, oh, I'm Billie Jean. He wrote the song about me. I should get money. I'm so and so. Like, I should get money. Like, they just try to like put it all under that like.
Yeah.
Oh, he gets
That
sued all the
umbrella.
time.
Yeah.
But it's like, there's
Yeah.
something about like hearing some like random fucking chick being like, oh, I'm Billie Jean. He wrote the song about me. That you're like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
And then
whatever,
there's something
yeah.
about like a dozen kids that are like, yeah, he fucking licked my butthole. That's like,
Made me lick their nipples while I
that
stared at a
adds
Peter
up.
Pan
That
cutout.
fucking adds up.
Yeah.
And in the same documentary, I wrote down a few notes. His fucking lawyer, this goddamn asshat with this long ass like white hair. He looks like such a piece.
He looks
of
like David Suzuki,
He
but like
he looks like Beethoven. Like, what's with that fucking hair, dude? Like, I'm
I
not
don't know, he
taking you
looks so
seriously
dumb.
right off the
Yeah.
get-go.
yeah.
But his like analogy was like, oh, when you get in a car accident, like right away you just give it to the insurance, and the insurance settles it. And that doesn't like mean that you're at fault, they're at fault. It's like just like a formality. The insurance handles it. So when Michael gets accused of like messing with that kid, like Jordan, what's his name? Jordy,
Chandler.
I don't know.
Jordy, whatever,
Smith?
whatever.
Chandler, I
Jordy,
think?
Jordy Smith, whoever the first kid was.
Yeah.
I was like,
yeah.
I just went to the insurance and they handled it, and people take that as a sign of guilt. And it's like, that is a sign of guilt. If I was
Yeah.
not in a goddamn car accident and someone was like, oh, you're in a car accident, like, we're just going to send it to insurance and sort that out, it'd be like, no, I wasn't in a goddamn car
I wasn't
accident.
in it,
I was not
yeah.
in a car
They
accident.
do make a point that, and I don't fully understand it, how like the civil case would prejudice the fucking criminal
Yeah.
case, but it's like, if you're not fucking guilty, I think you're gonna take that chance.
No. And
Who
even
cares,
back to
yeah.
If
like,
your
the
ducks are in
most-
a row and everything's fucking above board and legit, you're not gonna fucking pay these people off.
But then
because
the
it
other
does look
side of
bad,
it,
and
the other
And
side
you're
of
just
it is
gonna
it's
fight
like,
it. You have
you said
hundreds
this-
of millions of dollars.
Yeah.
like the other side of it too, though, is like, well, you say this in the civil court, then it comes up in the the criminal court. So if
Yeah.
you settle the civil court and it doesn't get to the
Yeah.
justice court, like that,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. But it's also like the other side of it is like you're shushing these kids up. Like you're
Uh-huh.
basically
Yeah.
just in like more words explaining why it makes more sense to shut it down in the civil court.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it
yeah.
doesn't get to a point where you're gonna lose years off of your life because of it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like it's
I don't
Yeah.
they
see that
sugarcoat
as-
it like
Yeah.
oh
It
you
was like
couldn't
down
do
to
this.
the wire too.
Yeah, it's like pleading the fifth. They kind of made it sound like if you say this in the one court, now you're fully on record, and it can be used in the other court. And it's like, yeah, but if you're innocent,
Then it
and
doesn't
what you
matter.
said in the one court was that I
Yeah, it
didn't
shouldn't
fucking
matter.
do it, it shouldn't matter.
Shouldn't matter. Yeah.
I don't see
And-
that as like in one of those documentaries, one of the three I watched, they talked about that, with that first case, Jordy, whatever the fuck his name was, and they're
Yeah.
like, oh, the grand jury like chose not to indict, and then the family went forward with the civil suit, and that's where Jackson like settled, and that's just like, not cool dudes. And my, like, comparison is to, like, OJ, who also got off.
Yeah.
He went past the grand jury. I'll give him that. He went to an actual trial, got off, and then failed the civil suit, because the civil suit is, like, a way less, like, standard of judgment.
Yeah.
Like, for the grand jury, it's like, oh, there's no DNA evidence, there's none of this, there's just this accusation from a kid and his, like, father. Like, we can't pursue it. But then when it, like, okay, it gets dismissed, and it goes right to civil, and Jackson and his lawyers are like, settle, $20 million. Because we don't want to drag this out. It's like, what? If you're not fucking guilty, drag it out. I cannot fathom a fucking world where I'm just like, yeah, whatever, give them my money.
Yeah.
I don't want to entertain this any longer.
And part of the thing,
Just
too, with the
in
grand
case.
jury is, like, you know, they only are going to prosecute cases that have fucking, like, an abundance of evidence. I don't want to use the word slam dunk, because there's no such thing as a slam dunk when it comes to, like, law.
Yeah.
But when it comes to he said, she said, or in this case, like, he said,
Yeah.
like, they're not gonna prosecute that.
And
like, there's no evidence there.
children. They are fucking children. Like,
They're kids. But to add to your point, once you get to the civil side of things, it's not so much like we're gonna lock this guy up. It's like, hey, if there is, like, any kind of reasonable doubt, that we're gonna you know, gouge this dude for money. Like, it's very much more lenient in that case, right? Like, the state's not going to prosecute someone unless they think they're going to fucking win. And even then, you know, they still need to plant a bloody glove from time to time. As shitty as that is.
Blown away that so much of the rebuttal evidence is like, well, in 1993, I'm trying to do an Australian accent because all three documentaries were goddamn Australians. Well, in 1993, under oath, the 8-year-old said he wasn't molested, and now in 2019, he says he was.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't understand what the problem is. When a fucking
and he's asking for $2 million.
when this fucking kid was 8 years old, he lied because he doesn't give a shit about what under oath means.
He doesn't know
Because
anything.
he's in love with the goddamn guy that's dicking him down.
That
doesn't mean anything.
Penis.
Like, it doesn't mean anything when he's a goddamn adult and he understands, like, oh, wow, I was abused. And even in the first, like,
child.
after Neverland, like, the HBO show, like, one of those guys, I think it was Wade, even said, like, oh, when they asked me if I was abused, I said no. Because I didn't feel abused. Like, I felt like I was in love and I was in a relationship. And I didn't, like, comprehend that there shouldn't be some 35-year-old dude, like, licking my butthole at 9 years old. Like, he didn't understand that at the time. And he's like, no, I wasn't abused. I wasn't abused. Like, I was in love, and then we were in a relationship, and he gave me jewelry, and I loved him, and he helped me.
And we got married in his bed.
As a kid.
He gave me a goddamn ring. Like,
I don't know. Not every fucking 9-year-old experiences ass blood.
No one.
I don't think I
experiences
did.
that. No one experiences
unless
that.
I had some Taco Bell. Like,
Fucking,
you're not gonna experience
maybe
that.
Maybe a Bucky of Tucky.
No, never an issue. Yeah.
Yeah, from Romania
Or
from
Ireland.
Irish
hard
Bucky of
slam
Tucky.
on the BMX, but you know,
so
it wasn't normal.
long story short, like.
Oh, I have one more note here. Don't long story short me. In the longer documentary, it was like an hour and a half. I don't remember what the fuck it was called. They're all named the same thing.
Yeah.
There was a highlight on one of the kids said that Michael Jackson was circumcised, and then they like arrested him and took a whole bunch of photos, and it turns out he wasn't, and that was like an aspect to like why his testimony was discredited.
Yeah.
When I was 9 years old, I didn't know the fucking difference either.
No idea.
Nope. And
I thought I wasn't circumcised because I had a head on my penis, and like all of the pictures I've ever seen
right now. Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying, all the pictures I'd ever seen, you know, in textbooks and stuff like that, was like a fucking anteater.
Yeah.
You know, it was like, well, I don't have that.
I don't have that. But
so
when
I'm not circumcised. I still have a head on my penis.
Yeah, when like an anteater's hard, it looks like a regular. Like
it looks like a regular
looks
penis.
The same. So you fucking discrediting some 8-year-old because he doesn't know his difference between goddamn dicks. Like that's
doesn't know what circumcised.
He doesn't know what that
means,
means, and it's like, oh, but he
idea.
described it wrong. So therefore, it's like, no, I still...
Maybe like it's like he was just the ultimate pedo, that he was never soft around these kids.
He was fucking fully erect and like fucking jacking
fully
off
torqued
the whole time.
Yeah.
That doesn't discredit
or like
anything
how
to
like
me.
is this kid really getting an eye shot of dick either? Like, who knows what's going on?
Well,
like,
it sounds like he's bent over the bed anyway.
Yeah, from the first documentary, the kid was on all fours facing the Peter Pan mural.
Yeah.
And like Jackson was like, you know, jacking her off on his ass and shit. Like, it's fucking disgusting. It's horrible.
Spitting on his nipples.
Sucking my nipples. But like the
all right.
dirty. It's horrible.
So long story short,
the only thing I will give like somewhat credit to the first documentary, Safe Chuck or whatever that guy's name was, said
Jimmy.
he was like dick down in the train station from like 87 to 91, and they're like, oh, the train station wasn't built till 92, so he's obviously lying. And I do see that as like, oh, that's a red flag, like something's not adding up. But to me, I'm interpreting his statement as like, I was molested from 87 to 91.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean I was molested in the train station for 4 years.
Yeah,
and maybe he's a little blurry on that last year. Maybe it was 92. Maybe the train station was done in 91 and a half. Like that,
all those little things
maybe
that
it
came
was
out
something else.
after
It was under construction.
It might have been.
No, boys, I'm telling you right here.
Yeah.
I've looked it up. That everything, all the little nitpicks that they had over things like that, are bogus. Because one of the things that I read was that, like, when Michael Jackson first saw the property to buy it, they had to take the train into the property.
Right.
Like, the train was always there.
Yeah.
It was all like they renovated the train station.
I was gonna say what
add
they
a
know
sex
as the
room,
train
I think,
station
is
now
what happened.
could have been something else.
Could have been something
the
else.
train station was always there. The train was all like, he bought that place like that. Like a lot of it was just like the nitpicking of like, well, and one of them was like, oh well, like in the testimony the family said they all went to the Grand Canyon, so how do they all go? And then Michael and Wade stay behind to fuck, and it's like, because they didn't all go to the fucking, they didn't all go. Like, that's the answer. Like,
and even lot of it's like as simple as like, oh, it was a 2 weeks vacation and like 2 days Michael and this little guy weren't there. He would still like tell the story of like, oh, we all went to the Grand Canyon, but like a day or two at the beginning, like
they showed up late.
Yeah, I was in the fucking whatever, the hotel with Michael.
Everybody exaggerates things,
and it's like 25 years ago. Like,
and they were children.
Kids. Oh my god! It's
to
so
say that like for 15 years they were molested, and maybe they mixed up when the fucking train station was there. Go fuck yourself.
Or what the train station was or is. Yeah, exactly. It's not. Like, that's not credible.
I feel like we're all getting a little angry. Oh, so maybe it's time to.
I just never want to see Michael Jackson's face or hear anything about him or read about it or listen to it.
He's goddamn defending Australians.
Yeah, I only wish that somebody had like broken into his home to take a picture of him when he didn't want to be seeing that ugly fucking creature.
Yeah, I don't feel bad at all. I remember when we were like being pretty hard on like making fun of him for a few weeks for looking like a goddamn ghoul, and a few people like would like message us and like, oh, you should make fun of people what they look like. And for a second, I'm like, yeah, you're right. Like, I shouldn't tease a guy for having like a nose like a broken piece of like pencil or whatever.
Alopecia.
Yeah, whatever. But now it's like, no, fuck that guy. He's a goddamn monster.
He did it to himself, dude.
Physically and emotionally and sexually. Like, fuck that guy. Fuck Michael Jackson. Fuck his nose. Fuck his shitty hair.
Yep.
Ugh. His tattooed face. Fuck them all. I'm glad he's dead.
Yeah.
Yep.
Glad he's dead, and I hope he fucking... Someone should shit on his grave.
I'd love to go take a big old piss all over him.
Yeah.
But you know what? I'm just going to say it. Even if he didn't molest these kids, I don't know that I'd feel any differently about him. I fucking hate the guy. He's gross, and I just don't want to fucking hear his music. It sucks. Like, I don't want to know anything about him. I don't understand why people fucking losing their minds over, this pop culture icon. Like, I don't get it. It's fucking gross. So even if he didn't touch kids, I still hate the motherfucker, and I'm glad he's dead.
My stance is like where there's not a lot of evidence. I'll give him that. Okay, there's not a lot of hard evidence, but where there's smoke, there's fire. Yeah. And you're like trying to like put out the fire by saying like, oh, these kids when they were 8, they didn't say they were molested. It's like, yeah, they're fucking 8.
8.
Yeah,
Like that's not a reason. That's not you poking holes in their defense, or you're poking holes in their accusation because in 1991 they said they weren't.
Yeah.
Like when I was 8, if you asked me anything, I would tell you some bullshit like I'm a transformer. Like I'm fucking 8. Like I don't know anything.
I would say,
and who knows how much psychological manipulation went on behind closed doors with
and,
family,
like, let's be
with
real,
Michael Jackson, with whoever, lawyers. And
saying all this stuff now, like
knows?
I like
We
in
don't
like
know.
they're 8, and like I think that's one thing. I think you can throw some more shade at Wade. For the fact that he did testify in like 2000 and whatever year that was, 15 or whatever, when he got
No, it was like
accused
6.
again. Was okay, you're right, 2006. I don't know. He died in 2010.
2003.
Wade
It was 2003.
Anyways,
whatever.
93 and 2003.
but so Wade did re-testify at an older age.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I can
but
see
he's
why,
like trying to be a
hold
cool
on, hear me
kid.
out.
Like, is he
Hear
gonna
me out.
fucking admit?
Yeah.
I
Is he
can
gonna admit it?
understand. No,
Like-
exactly. I can understand why there's shade thrown at him. This Jimmy guy, when you watch his interviews and the way he talks, there's no way he was not molested by Michael Jackson,
Right.
I think. And, like, Mike, to add to your point with Wade, like, the guy had a career. Like, why...
He was trying.
As much as it's like why else would he admit it if he didn't want money, right? And go the other way. It's like, well, why did he not admit it for years? Because he was trying to live his life, and he had shit to lose. Like, like,
and
in
so
one
much
of the
to gain, honestly, being like in Michael's circle. And
in
it's
one
like,
of the
once,
documentaries,
like, the fucking he was like #1 contender to be the art director for Cirque du Soleil or whatever the fuck it's called.
Yeah.
And then when that fell through, that's when he like came forward, and that's why we should discredit him. It's like, no, that's exactly why we should listen to him, because he towed the company line for 20 years, and
until
then
he didn't get it.
And then this last chance like tour, this is the last one fucking ever, and Michael just like oversaw like, nah, fuck that guy. It's like, well, why have I been sticking up to you since 1990?
Yeah.
No, I'm telling
you.
you.
And I think, RJ, like, to add to your point earlier about, like, those women that came forth and were like, I'm Billie Jean. Like, I want money. And it's like, well, they're like, you are making it up because you're coming out of left field. Like, there's no connection here.
Nothing.
But, like, Wade, who has been there for almost, like, 20 years, and then when he starts not getting the end of the bargain, like, not to say that there was a handshake and a contract saying like, hey, you say that I didn't fuck you and I'll give you everything you want. But like, like in the one documentary I watched, that there was some Cirque du Soleil that was supposed to be with Michael Jackson music that he applied for to be the choreographer for,
and he assumed he was gonna get it. He assumed,
and didn't get it, and then like 2 or 3 months later he came out saying that he's
gonna write a book.
And the argument was like, well, like, you got shunned, so that's why you're doing this. And it's like, when you go the other way with it, it's like, or is he coming out because he got shunned? Like, I'm supposed to be keeping my mouth shut.
Yeah, exactly.
You're supposed to keep me fucking.
That's the whole reason
keep
I
my
kept
livelihood
my mouth shut this whole time. I said, like, I was getting the benefits of being with you.
Yeah.
And someone that like defends him to the end of the time will be like, oh, it's all about money. And it's like, the whole world is about money. Like, I'm sorry to like hurt you.
This is the world we
with
live
your
in.
Tim Hortons income. That the world is about money.
Yeah.
You can pretend to be as noble as you want, but when it comes to like, here's a free house, shut the fuck up about it.
Yeah.
Here's a job, like, I'm gonna put you, like, shut up about it.
Yeah.
Like, money speaks.
100%.
Money speaks. And it
Money
speaks
makes
the
the
other
world
way.
go
When the
round,
money
right?
gets cut off, it's like, okay, you know what? Fuck all that.
Yeah. But then when I come out after I've been cut off, I'm the fucking asshole.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
Yeah.
that's the nonsense.
You know what?
with it.
Like I said, I don't even care if he did or didn't. Like, I just don't fucking care. Like, I hate that I know anything about this. I still don't like the guy. He's gross, and that's it.
Mike, one might say that you're pretty much an expert on it.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's a
pretty much
hard
now.
expert opinion.
Now that I've fucking spent 10 hours of my life.
I have one quick note before we went off.
Listening to Australians.
There was one guy in the first documentary, the 30-minute one. I think it was called like Neverland, whatever. Leaving Never. I don't remember. They're all fucking Aftermath. Neverland Aftermath. Yeah. And they were trying to dismiss Sawchuk's testimony because it was so similar to the testimony of Geordie's.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, he did this, he showed me his butthole, he showed me this.
Yeah.
And they're like, clearly he just read the testimony and repeated it. So therefore discorded. And it's like, or he just does the same thing to every fucking kid.
Yeah.
Like, what
that
the
was his
fuck?
MO.
How is that a goddamn, like, discrediting? Like, oh, he cheats on every girl, so therefore any girl that says he cheated on me is lying. It's like, no, that doesn't make any goddamn sense. It's how about he just fucking looks in every butthole that he sees and like what? Gives them a little bit of wine and sucks their nipples. It's like it sounds so similar to the other accusations, so therefore it's not real. They're like, are you insane? Like, how are you a lawyer? That sounds exactly like corroborating evidence to me. Like, what is wrong with you?
Like, to me, it sounds like, again, like, I don't think he was molesting every kid that he came in contact with.
No.
But the ones that he zeroed in on, it was like, if you're coming into my bedroom and spending the night, this, and this are happening so I can get off.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, that, like, he had it structured.
Yeah,
and that's why... It was like every kid, and then once they fucking like aged out at 12, it was like the new kid came in at 7, and they would pick up where the last kid, left off.
Once you started to get too hairy or whatever, I had a deeper voice to say like, I don't know, if this is a good idea.
See ya. Yeah, my ass blood is gone.
I don't know if you watched that documentary, Skyler, but like the 30-minute one.
Mm-hmm.
They interview Wade's girlfriend when he was 10.
Oh,
it's some fucking random chick, and she's like, "Oh, he's his girlfriend."
No, that's Michael Jackson's niece.
Whoever the fuck it was.
Yeah,
She's like from like 10 to like 15. Like we were boyfriend and girlfriend. So there's no way that he loved Michael because we were in a relationship. And it's like, you were fucking 10, you stupid bitch. Like, what is wrong with you? What?
Yeah,
is
no, I
wrong
agree.
with
Any
you?
sense?
Like, there's multiple.
You don't know what the fuck is going on in the world at 10 years old.
That's not a reason, in my opinion,
10,
at all.
I didn't know anything. I thought Spider-Man was real.
Yeah. Like, if anything, there's a reason he didn't tell you it was happening.
100%.
Right? Like, there's more evidence to that.
There's 100% of reasons he didn't tell anybody because he's goddamn 10 and had to, like, suck on this 35-year-old's dick. Like, it's fucking disgusting.
And get his butthole licked. Like, I'm not even a fan of bidets. Like,
it's fucking horrible. But
it's horrible.
I think when I strike it big, I'm gonna start my own bidet company and just call them fucking Jackson.
Personal bidets.
Yeah.
You're just gonna lay down.
Jackson self-cleaning.
But it's fucking
for children.
For ages 6 to 12.
Throwing goddamn Australians under the bus.
Once you age out, you get off it. Fucking get off it.
I have nothing
then
but
you get the Weinstein.
I have no shame in throwing all those goddamn Australians under the bus that made all these documentaries. But this Australian guy with all the hair and glasses that interviewed this girl that was like, oh, at 10 years old, he was my boyfriend, so there's no way that he loved someone else because he loved me. Like, how did you film this and put this into even at like a YouTube documentary level without like going like, okay, yeah, but she was like fucking 10.
Yeah.
Like, shut up.
Yeah. I think we touched on this before where it was like, I feel like children under a certain age should not be put on the stand to testify because I don't think they get it.
They don't fucking get it.
And then not only that, but then it's
years old, I don't get it. I'd lie through my teeth on the stand. I don't give a shit about putting my hand on a Bible.
The perjury thing that it's like to perjure yourself is worse than to be sexually molested and raped is beyond. I don't get it. I never will.
That's bullshit.
So I just believe the victim.
Jackson's lawyers, his whole defense is like, oh, but they would have perjured themselves if they were like lying. And it's like, yeah, I would lie.
Yeah,
To this day, if I committed a crime and I was on the stand, I would fucking lie. Like, who the fuck would go on the stand and tell the truth and put their hand on a Bible and, like, I'll just go to jail?
Which means nothing,
it means
by the way.
nothing. Like, shut the fuck
nothing.
up.
No.
I'm not going to go on the goddamn stand after committing, like, some sex crimes and, like, oh, I did it because my hand's on the Bible. Like, I got dick.
Oh,
I got molested.
Then I cut off all her hair.
Yeah.
Okay, Brandon,
smacked her with the goddamn
That's what finally
rock.
breaks Shay.
Like, no. Like, obviously, it means nothing, but it's just to these lawyers that are just like, oh, he perjured himself, so it's therefore his testimony doesn't mean anything. He was 8 years old.
Yeah.
Putting your hand on the Bible means nothing. Like,
well, all that court shit means nothing because it's just like who can pay for the best representation. Like, that's all it is, you know? Who can poke holes better? Who can pay for the, you know, whose bias is stronger? Like, fuck all that court shit, you know?
Fuck
like,
courts. Yeah.
it's
fuck
all bullshit
taxes.
to me anyways, you know? We're going to throw out this perfectly good evidence because, like you said, like, they're perjuring themselves because their previous statement was that he didn't do anything. It's like, yeah, but he was 10.
He was,
you know, we go around in circles. It's just bullshit.
10 or less.
I don't want to talk about this anymore.
Yeah.
I got to go to work in an hour and a half. Like, I'm fucking done.
Yeah.
Fuck Michael Jackson.
Yeah,
Let's finish up. Let's we're done.
Let's wrap it.
All right, well, send your questions into pretty much email at gmail.com.
Pretty much email at gmail.com if you want to send a question to the experts. We usually finish every show with an Ask an Expert, but we're way over time.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But you can download our podcasts on Spotify, iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Google Play, iHeartRadio. There's a few spots, as well as add us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram, all under the catchy name of Pretty Much Experts.
PME.
PME. Do you guys have any final thoughts before we wrap this up?
No.
Out of the way, ass blood.
Out of the way. Jesus Christ. Thanks for listening. We'll see you all fucking next week.
Goodbye.
Bye. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in this week. We are Pretty Much Experts. You can check us out on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, and YouTube. While you're at it, go have a look at our Facebook page. You can ask an expert any time of day or night, whatever you like. And if you're into it, be sure to like, subscribe, and comment. We want to hear from you, baby. Thanks again, everybody. Tune in next week. We are Pretty Much Experts, and we love you, I guess.